Hi, my name is David P Shapiro. I'm the owner and managing partner of the law office of David P Shapiro, located in San Diego, California, where my firm helps good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime. In this video, I want to talk to you about probation violations, what you need to know, what a lot of people get wrong, and basically what you need to keep in mind to protect your freedom, protect your future, keep you out in society, and not locked up on a violation that is, in many instances, preventable. So the first thing I want to talk about is this misconception about probation violations. And the first thing is that you have to commit a new crime in order to be violated on probation. Absolutely not true. Well, obviously, if you commit a new crime, that's an easier way for you to be violated on probation. But you don't necessarily always or oftentimes do not even have to commit a new crime, not even be alleged to have committed a new crime in order to be violated on probation. Let's talk about that for a second. Here's the situation, right? Let's assume as a condition of your probation, you are ordered to abstain, to not drink alcohol. And you're over 21 years old. So, but for that probation condition, no one on earth could really tell you what to do as it relates to drinking or not drinking alcohol. So if you weren't on probation, you're 40 years old, you have a drink, you're not committing a crime. You're on probation, you're not necessarily committing a crime, but you're violating your probation. Okay, so just to be clear, you could still violate your probation and not necessarily commit a new crime. And another sort of subsidiary of that is, let's assume there's a situation where you're on probation for offense A, you're alleged to commit offense B, you have a real good defense on offense B. So, hey, I got a real good case, I want to fight this all the way. Awesome. You beat the second case. But keep in mind, can you still, or what's the probability or likelihood that you may still get violated on the first case and you may still wind up in jail? So you want to discuss that with your attorney. If your attorney isn't discussing that with you proactively, you want to press him or her on it. And if they're not giving you answers that make a whole lot of sense, ask them to clarify. And if they can't or won't, then that's a sign that you might be, it might be time to get yourself a better, or at least a more thorough, a more prepared, a more experienced criminal defense attorney to help you with your probation violation. Another thing that we hear a lot is, well, I got convicted of a felony, but I'm on probation, so I can't go to prison anymore because I got probation. Absolutely not true. So here's the situation. You're accused of committing a felony. You get convicted of committing a felony. That felony, worst case, could land you in state prison for 3 years. But your agreement with the prosecutor and with the judge is that when you come back at sentencing, you're going to be placed on probation. In San Diego, we call that a NOLT. Acronym, no opposition for local time, NOLT. That means you're getting probation. You come back at sentencing, you get placed on probation. You get no days in jail, you get 365 days in jail, you get somewhere, some combination in between. You violate probation a day later, a week later, an hour later, a year later, you could still be sentenced to state prison up to the maximum minus whatever time you've already done. Okay, so a lot of times people think that they've dodged prison just because they got probation on the front end. Well, yeah, I mean, if you could avoid getting in trouble, right? And if you could avoid being unlucky or being charged with a crime, right? Because here's the situation. You could still get sent to prison. You could still get sent to the maximum you could have gotten for the offense to begin with that you were convicted of, if you violate probation. So you're not out of the woods yet. You're not haven't escaped fully the prospect of going to state prison. Now, a lot more control is back in your hands when you're on probation because you really have to screw it up. And usually that requires you do something to screw it up in order to be sent to state prison. But that is always still a possibility for as long as you're on probation. So bottom line is, what to do if you're alleged to commit a probation violation is the easiest thing to do, the best thing to do. Hire a quality, locally experienced criminal defense firm that could walk you through this process, whether they represented you on the underlying case or not. If you feel comfortable and like the work of the attorney in a law firm that represented you on the underlying case, you might want to start there. It's probably better to start there. They know you, you know them. They know your case, presumably, better than anyone at that point, having previously represented you. But if you have some doubts about their competency, about their care, about their thoroughness and effectiveness, then you might want to look elsewhere. And where you want to look, whether it's with my firm or anyone else out there, is you want to look for a quality, locally experienced criminal defense firm that handles criminal defense cases in San Diego, if your case is in San Diego, that has a team of support staff, that has a team of lawyers that can be there for you each step of the way. We're just a phone call away, 619-295-3555. Again, David Shapiro, San Diego criminal lawyer, 619-295-3555.